Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M44, the Tier 6 American SPG. This one's located on the attack team on Assault on Karelia, and it's under the command of demontaxidriver. Oh dear, the guns drop, which means he hasn't loaded in yet, but he will very shortly. Okay, he has, and rock. Now this is the old version of the M44 pre 1.13 because this replay is from 2020. Yep, it's that long ago. And in fact the skin on this M44 came from Sir Rusty. It's a lovely little design with our logo on the side, you can see. Now it's a 155mm howitzer capable of 550 alpha and will penetrate 39mm of armour. And it looks like the demontaxidriver is going to shoot from the top of the horseshoe. Okay, there's plenty of enemy tanks in sight, and I think he's going to go for that KV-2 because he's the most likely to be hit, and he gets a splash for 140. Now, keeping that guy tracked and stunned will earn him a lot of points. In fact, actually, I think he is picking up damage assist because the KV-2 was tracked, and another shell comes in, and he gets another 123. And stun assist when the KV-2 is wiped out. Now there is a danger in actually being at the top of the horseshoe because enemy light tanks like to come up to the cliff edge and try and spot you, and if they can't actually spot you or detect you from being directly under the cliff, they might come up onto the cliff. We do have a T-21 who's down in the marsh at the moment, so he might be able to spot the light tanks before they get up there. In fact, the enemy Leopard, one of their light tanks, in fact one of only 2 light tanks in the game, is actually trying to spot on the east side of the map. We just saw a tree go down there, which kind of indicates that they've got a tank in that bush or next to that bush. More than likely. RMXELC is down there, and 2 enemy tanks spotted. The AT-2, is he going to hide behind that rock? No, he's not. He's continuing to move. He's going for the AT-2. Rounds out. Right onto the engine deck, 173, and the guy's taking damage, so he's picking up stun assist. Now, one of the great things about the M44 was the fast reload, and of course Wargaming have done their best to nerf that, because not only did they nerf the shells, oh, he got the kill! He's taken out the AT-2. Not only did Wargaming nerf the shells, they also nerfed the accuracy, and then they also nerfed the M44 much more than they nerfed any of the other Artys. They singled it out for getting even worse parameters than it ever had before, and have basically neutered what is considered to be one of the best Artys in the entire game. And the only reason they're doing it is because of these CCs, these community contributors who whine about this Arty being overpowered. And we know that because, you see, Wargaming listens to the CCs, they don't listen to the ordinary players. Many of the ordinary players have been whining about the M44, but it's the CCs who've been making it specific to single it out as being the worst Arty and the one that they want changed. Well, that BDR made a bit of a boo-boo by going over the edge of the cliff because he got attacked by 2 enemy tanks at the same time. We're going after the Cavalier. Very thin armour on that tank. Can we get a shot into him? Rounds out. That should hit. It does, and a big hit for 212. He's continuing to target the thing, and as you can see, he's got the down arrows. They're much better than the current system. At least when you see the down arrows, you know instantly what that means is I'm going after that target. And he's got another direct hit for 190. And there goes the Cavalier, taken out by our other Arty, the PP, a 105 FH18B2. And he's got his first kill. Okay, demontaxidriver switched to the north. And we're now going after the Churchill one, and that's a hit for 217. And he's picking up loads of stun assist as well. And there goes the kill. So they're doing very well with 6 tanks up on the enemy. So it looks like we're going to win this assault game. He's going after the BDR now. Fires around in. Oh! Kill shot! And it was a penetration. 416 hit points. That's all he had left. And to get that much, he must have penetrated him Now the RT on the M44 is in a swivel mount, which is why you can see the gun chain round to hit a new target very quickly. And he's got another kill, the gorilla this time. That's his third kill in the game. There's only 3 enemies left. It trains around really quickly. In fact, it's one of the best things about the M44 is its ability to switch targets very quickly. It's also fairly accurate, and well, that makes it much more fun, especially the fact that it's got a fast reload. He's trying to work out where the T-52 is going to go, but the guy was very, very unpredictable. And so unfortunately that shell was a miss, and we've lost sight of that target. But we are homing in on the cap area, and he's now looking for Tracer from the enemy Arty, who's probably in that back area. More than likely. And he's now platooned with the other Arty in the game, who's also got 3 kills, the Fifi, the 105 LFH 18B2. Okay, there's a KV-1 to the south, but he's hiding behind those rocks, and that is basically an Arty safe position. Rounds out. Well, he managed to get some splash on him. It's not completely Arty safe, but it's well, difficult to get a direct hit. You have to rely on splash. And we're now capping. Rounds out again. Goes long. Only 2 enemies left now. They've killed the RT. That looks like that shot might have just hit the KV-1. The T-21's going in to get some close-in shots. Rounds out. And, well, the kill shot goes to the T-21. There's only 1 enemy left, and he's actually coming round towards us. Yep, he's round the horseshoe. He's at the bottom of the horseshoe, and he's now going after our Fifi. So we need to save the Fifi if we're going to get the win, and also our brothers in arms. Unfortunately, he's already hit the Fifi quite hard, and that rock's going to get in the way. But can we get a shot? I think we're about to lose the Fifi. Yeah, unfortunately, there's the brothers in arms gone. And he fires shotgun, but he fails to hit the T-52. Now, this is the guy who's really unpredictable in the way he was moving about, and he's hit us more than once now. But the kill shot goes into the M10 RBFM, so we've been saved. We survived the battle, having lost most of our hit points in the process. Let's have a look at the second replay, because this is a 2 replay match. The second replay is on the Mountain Pass map, and this time it's under the command of Major Nuisance. Okay, game started, and he's loaded into the game, and alongside him is a Hummel. And again, both of those skins are by Sir Rusty. Thank you so much for those skins. We always appreciate watching them, especially the lovely designs with our logo on. Okay, I think this is his firing position, and he's ready to go. Now he should be able to fire right across the bowl at the enemy. And the first enemy is coming to sight, and it's an EBR. Rather predictable, those little pests are everywhere, and they tend to ruin a game, really, to be honest. I completely agree with Klaus Kellerman that they should be removed from the game. They have no purpose in the game other than to completely dominate a game. And if you ever experience a tier 10 game with EBR 105s, they completely ruin the game totally. And Klaus actually showed an example in one of his videos recently where just the very presence of EBRs on one side and not on the other meant that the team lost. This is a tier 7 game with tier 6 tanks in it. We're looking down the ice road, and we've got an IKV-90B, but unfortunately he's got a red line, which means obviously there's some obstruction in the way. And I think it is the mountain, because he could aim just a little further on, but he couldn't get a shot specifically on that IKV, and he can't get a shot on the KV-2 either. So it's this position that's not good. So I think he's just going to alter his position slightly. If you go back behind these trees and then turn to face the target, you might be able to get a shot over there. Yes, he can get a shot now. Oh, he can get a shot on both of them actually, the KV2 and the IKV. Although it's a partially obscured reticule. Couldn't get that out. Well, the IKV went back into the water. I think he's possibly going to drown if he does that. Meanwhile, on the bridge road, we've got a Scorpion. That's the Tier 7 American M56 Scorpion. Rounds out. 552, which is a high roll and a penetration. Now, some people have actually asked, why do I say rounds out whenever I actually, when one of our teammates fires or when the player fires? And the reason is basically there's a long delay between the shell being released or fired from the gun and actually hitting the target. And so you have to take that into account. At the moment, from this position, it could take as much as 2-3 seconds for the target to be hit. That M44, oh, you can see it took nearly 3 seconds for the shell to get there. And by the time he fired, the target was already destroyed. So, big delay. It's also true to say that artillery batteries, when they were actually communicating with their forward observer, would actually announce to their observer that the shell was on its way to the target by saying rounds out or something of the way, or on the way, to let them know that take cover because the shell's about to arrive. The enemy's getting fairly close to our cap area, and we've only got a Leo and a Nashorn, so it looks to me like Major Nuisance has decided the best thing he can do at the moment is actually head towards the enemy cap area. With 3 tanks down on the enemy, and so if they don't do something drastic soon, they could lose. They really do need to cap at the other end to try and put pressure on the enemy. In fact, actually, the enemy M44 has been spotted. The Cromwell's been killed. Let's see if he can get a shot on this M44. Rounds out. That looked like it was dialed in enough. It was. Sometimes you don't have to fully dial in if you are reasonably certain that the enemy target actually has low hit points and there's a possibility you might be able to get a splash kill. Now the enemy is capping. We know that that large force has actually managed to break through. They killed the Leo. Major Nuisance is making his way towards the enemy cap. There's a 45 TP down there. Kind of blocking our way, but we have got a 45 TP of our own. And oh, he's just killed the enemy one. And it's a good job that Major Nuisance moved, because the enemy Scorpion has actually come around the corner and he's found our Hummel. And he's being chased down the ice road, so he didn't leave quick enough. Luckily, we've got a VK3601H who's heading back to try and help the Hummel. And the Scorpion has been killed by the VK, so that's good news. There's no enemy down this end, and the 45 TP is going around to try and find the enemy. He's found them. An IKV-65-2, Swedish Tier 6 tank destroyer. I think Major Nuisance is going to try and get into the cap and start putting pressure on the enemy. We're down to 4 tanks, but so is the enemy. They lost a lot in the attack on our cap area. Okay, he's the only one capping, and he hasn't got a shot on that KV2, but it appears that our teammates do. And that IKV at this moment is hiding from our 45 TP. He dare not come out in front of that that 45 TP, because the 45 TP could inflict some serious damage on the IKV. Even though he's got a 90mm gun, you can see that he's just slammed around into him for 248, and the IKV is now one shot. Well, we're capping and we're doing well, so long as these guys can hold the enemy at bay. And that KV2 is still on the bridge road, but just beneath him is the VK3601 and also the Hummel. Now, he could drive straight across the bridge, but if he did, he'd probably take a couple of shots from those teammates. Well, if the enemy doesn't do something soon, they're going to lose, because we're only 20 seconds away from capping out. And despite the fact the IKV just managed to get a shot into the 45 TP and reduce him to a one shot, it very much looks like Major Nuisance is going to cap out to win. The KV2 crossed the bridge. I suspect he did take some damage. They got a Type 64 coming, but it's too late. Major Nuisance has won the game for his team by capping out. And he says, well done, M44. Arty saved us. That's one of the teammates who really appreciated what Major Nuisance did. Let's have a look at the end of battle results. Here's the end of battle results. And in the first battle, the one on Karelia, demontaxidriver in the M44 managed to get a first class tanker. He also managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 12 in total. And he got a Starks medal. Yes, he took at least 2 shots from the enemy, lost at least 2/3 of his hit points. In fact, he lost most of them. And he also managed to get at least 2 kills in the game. He actually got 3. Missed out on his brothers in arms, but he redeemed himself by still going after that T-52 and ended up with a Starks medal by surviving the battle. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see in this game that he actually even got the highest damage in the game, but didn't get the high caliber because he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool. 2,003 hit points of damage to demontaxidriver. 1,398 went to the T-3485M on his own team, and then that T-52, the one who damaged him, got 1,210. When it came to kills, he's got the highest, shares the top highest with the M10 RBFM and also with the Fifi. They both got 3 kills each. And when it came to the next highest, it was the Gorilla and the KV1 on the enemy team. 2 kills apiece. When it came to base XP, he's got the top in that one as well. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,048 base experience points to the demontaxidriver, 816 went to the T-3485M, and 758 went to the T-21. He fired 17 rounds in that game, got 7 direct hits and 1 penetration, 11 splash. Damage of 2,003 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He received 3 hits from that T-52, and they all but wiped him out. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, and 467 hit points of damage assistance, and 1,051 hit points of stun assists off 9 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 32,275 credits, got 20,000 from personal missions payout, and after repair, ammunition, resupply, and consumables, took away a profit of 37,243 credits altogether. 1,048 XP, 9,432 from personal missions payout, and 11,004 experience points altogether. So a very profitable game for demontaxidriver. He basically dominated that team alongside his other Arty, the Fifi, to get the win. And he certainly helped a lot by tracking some of those enemy vehicles and then stunning them and allowing his teammates to get the kills. But it's getting a Starks medal because they are difficult to get. I can tell you, many's the time I thought that I had a Starks medal because I had received damage, and it turned out that I hadn't got one for some reason or other. But very well done to demontaxidriver. Let's have a look at the second map. That's the one with the second game with Major Nuisance, and he managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 6. But he got 2 important medals, which according to Mighty Jingles are fairly difficult to get. No, they're actually fairly easy for Arty, because Arty tends to stay as far away from the enemy as we can, so that we don't get killed, because obviously we've got very weak armor. He managed to get a Raider-Invader combination, the Raider medal for remaining undetected throughout the entire game and yet capping out to win, and the Invader medal because he managed to get at least 80 capture points in the cap and then capped out to win. So it's a really good combination to get. I've got a few of these myself, but it's always nice to see it, and especially to see that the rest of the team recognised that without Major Nuisance they wouldn't have won this game, even though they were ahead towards the end. It was Major Nuisance that won the game for them by capping out. So let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in this game. He only got 957 hit points of damage. The high scorer in the game was actually the Leo, the one who was actually trying to fend off the enemy horde that were actually coming towards the cap. He got 2,390 hit points. The second highest was the 45 TP on the enemy team with 2,023. And the third highest was the enemy 45 TP who fought it out against our 45 TP, or fought it out against the enemy one. And he got 1,940. When it came to kills, it was the KV2 on the enemy team did the best with 3 kills. 2 kills went to the 45 TP, the VK3601H, the Leo, the T3485, and 3 members of the enemy team, their IS, their M44, and their IKV65 Alt 2. I'm afraid Major Nuisance only got the 1 kill, but that doesn't matter because he won the game. He was the guy who actually did it for the team. When it came to base XP, he's not the tops, but that's the 45 TP again with 962. 898 went to the Leo, 533 went to the Tiger P, and we can see that Major Nuisance got 524. So he wasn't far behind the leaders, but yes, I think it was more that he put the effort in to make sure that the team won, and he did it by relocating to the other end of the map and capping out. He fired only 7 shots in the game, got 2 direct hits, 1 penetration and 3 splash. Damage of 957 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 4 of the enemy, killed 1, and did 16 hit points of stun assist off 3 stuns. But more importantly, he got 100 capture points in the cap and won the game. 15,489 credits, and after resupply of ammunition, he took away 19,699 credits. 524 XP, but he actually took away 786. So 2 really good games showing that Arty can be crucial to winning a game. Major Nuisance getting a Raider Invader, and of course demontaxidriver getting his Starks medal and the top damage in all 3 columns, in kills, in XP and damage to the enemy. I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.